In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this soft and fluffy and crispy homemade focaccia. This recipe is simple and requires no kneading, and it's also super fun, so let's get started. The dough is made with only 5 ingredients and you do not need a stand mixer to make this, just a bowl and a spoon. We're going to combine together some lukewarm water, some instant yeast, some salt, and olive oil in a large bowl. Give this a mix to dissolve the salt. The written recipe will be available on the blog as always, and a link to that is in the description box below, and you can find their tips and tricks and also the metric measurements. Next, I'm going to add in bread flour and give this a mix until all the ingredients are fully incorporated and you have a super sticky dough. If you don't have bread flour, you can also make this with all-purpose flour. I have tried it out and it comes out amazing. Once everything is nice and combined, use a spatula to clean up your spoon and the sides of your bowl, and then we're going to go ahead and cover this and rest it for its first 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, it's time to do the first set of stretches and folds. Wet your hand thoroughly with some water and then start with one side of the dough, pull and then bring it to the center like I'm doing in the video. Rotate the bowl 1/4 of the way around and then repeat this process again. You're going to do this until you go around all the way. The dough is super sticky, so make sure to wet your hands properly. Once you've gone all around, you're going to cover this again and let it rest for another 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, and now it's time for the second set of stretches and folds. Wet your hands, start with one part of the dough, pull it upwards and then towards the center, and then repeat this process all around the dough. We have to do in total 4 sets of stretches and folds, and although this may seem like a lot of work, most of it is just resting and you only have about 5 to 10 minutes of hands-on work. Once you're done, cover and rest for another 30 minutes, and then we're going to perform the third set of stretches and folds. Wet your hands, pull the dough, bring it towards the center, and rotate, and then repeat this until you've gone all the way around. This process of resting the dough and then performing these series of stretches and folds may seem super tedious, but it's actually very fun and therapeutic, and honestly, making focaccia is an art and the end result is going to be totally worth it. And now it's time for the fourth set of stretches and folds. Repeat the exact same process that you've been doing so far. Once you've completed your fourth set of stretches and folds, we're going to cover the bowl with some plastic wrap, and then you can either continue to make this on the same day or make it the next day. If you're going to be making it the next day, you're going to refrigerate this and then follow the exact same steps as in the recipe. The detailed instructions will be available on the blog. If you're not going to be making it the next day, we're going to rest this at room temperature for just another 30 more minutes. 30 minutes later, grease your pan with lots of olive oil, about 3 tablespoons. Spread that out, and we're going to perform a last series of stretches and folds and then transfer the dough onto the pan. Drizzle the dough with some more olive oil, and then we're going to cover this with another pan and let this rest for one last time, I promise, for 1 hour at room temperature. This is what your dough should look like after 1 hour. Drizzle the dough with some more olive oil and cover your hands with olive oil as well. Then you're going to start from the top and start dimpling all the way down. And then go back to the top and start jiggling to push the dough all the way to the corners of the pan. Now it's time for the toppings. You can use whatever toppings you'd like, just make sure to oil them so that they do not burn. I used dried rosemary, some chunks of garlic, some olives, and even some pickled red chilies. Some other options would be cherry tomatoes, blocks of cheese, or even your favorite herbs like basil and thyme. By the way, if you love baking bread at home, then you have to try my ultra soft Japanese milk bread recipe. The bread literally melts in your mouth. I will leave a link to that in the description box below. Now you can finally bake this at an oven preheated to 200 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes until the top is nice and golden. Once baked, let that cool for at least 10 to 15 minutes before cutting into it. And your homemade focaccia is ready to go. This recipe is super simple and honestly, it is very hard to mess up. Focaccia is soft and chewy on the inside and it has a crispy exterior because of all that olive oil. You can cut it up and use it for sandwiches or have it as a side with soups and salads, but my favorite way is having it on its own. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe for more easy and delicious recipes just like this one. Like the video if you liked it and comment down below if you tried the recipe or if there's anything else you'd like me to make. And as always, thank you so much for watching.